Well, hello. Uh, Middle Ages. Well, it's a long time, and they call it the Middle Ages because they are in the middle between the Roman Empire in Rome and the rebirth of the classical art in the Renaissance. And that's what they call the Middle Ages in Europe, in Western Europe. And often it's referred to as the dark Middle Ages. No culture, nothing special. Well, maybe dark from a wisdom kind of view of life. But I think fantastic things happened. First of all, I noticed there is an expansion of Western Europe, of Christian culture. Scandinavia became Christianized. They organized the Roman uh, Holy Empire in Germany. Um, Even Scotland became Christian, Ireland probably too, and Spain and Portugal gradually became Christian during the Middle Ages. So there is a clear geographical expansion. And secondly, well, we call it the Dark Middle Ages, but for the Eastern Mediterranean, already from the year 600, we have in 100 years the total rise of Islam, the founding of Baghdad. So, in a great era for Islam culture. So, nothing dark about that. And so it is possible that, well, it was quite interesting. But in my book, I consider the time of infinity and eternity. And for Western Europe, I close it off with the fall of Rome and the rise of Aurelius Augustinus, who wrote a book about confessions so clear about heaven and hell as we learn it today. So, Augustinus was a founding father of the church not of the Old Testament, but the church of the New Testament. Well, and that New Testament, the new one, well, was rejected by the Jews. They don't accept Jesus Christ. And of course, Islam, something totally separate. But those Middle Ages, they really used that Bible. They made heaven and hell so concrete. They didn't look up to the sky with clear stars and planets as you would do in the Mediterranean, because certainly in Iran you have a clear sky, blue, and you see at night the entire sky of stars and planets, but not in Western Europe. You see clouds in the day. Mm. So, but you believe heaven is there. And they made it so concrete during those Middle Ages. But life was good. They were kind to each other. They did form probably groups, and sometimes there was an attack, but who cares? People were kind to each other. They were Christians. They had Hanseatic cities. They traded, even Scandinavia, because of the trade. Well, the king became Christian too. You should well behave. And that whole character of, well, not being communists, Germany, after the First World War, they insisted on that norms and values of a Christian democracy. It is different from a Persian or Greek attitude. There they care about an elite which impresses the masses with those beautiful temples, Olympic Games, beauty, perfection, and they talk about this universe of a spiritual world that common people, they live like animals. 90% were slaves, but not in the Middle Ages. Equality between women was normal with the Vikings years before it got introduced in our modern world. So they were different, those Middle Ages, but they were gorgeous. All people had right to a place in the sun. God was good to everybody. God was kind, God was forgiving, and people needed to behave nicely towards each other. And that is different. The Romans just had the pater familias, and he was legally responsible for his household. They had slaves. Wives had no legal position. It was the pater familias. So when they had these emperors, well, that's a different situation. If you ask me, it's a different situation. So, but the Middle Ages, and they were long. You can count, they start 400 after Christ. Rome was sacked. Augustinus wrote his books. Aurelius Augustinus. 400, 500, built the Hagia Sophia, not important to the West. And then 600, rise of Islam. And 700, they stop it. Those Christians stop it. 300 years after Augustinus, they stop. Well, 750 something, 50-ish something. So, okay, that is the situation.